What should you be doing in crypto right now? Let's jump right on into it. All right, guys, so today Caspa's price is sitting at 16.61 cents, and we are down 0.63% for the day. What I want to talk about today is kind of along the lines of what, the price is doing, and that's literally nothing. Some of you guys might be wondering, like, what should I be doing right now? The market is extremely boring, and it seems like nothing is happening. It seems like a lot of people are throwing in the towel. It seems like a lot of people are calling for the bear market to be starting and the top is already in for this cycle. It just seems like a lot of people are getting negative and a lot of people are, kind of giving up. So I wanted to go over a few things that I feel are important that the savvy crypto investor is doing during these times. Now, in investing in general, when you're investing in general, the vast majority of the time is going to be boring. We all came into this space because of the parabolic price action, right? And the amount of gains you potentially make in a very short period of time compared to other markets. But that doesn't mean that crypto is extremely exciting and goes parabolic all the time, right? Now, during the bear market and during a lot of these periods, you can find a certain sector, whether it be meme coins or DeFi or something that's, pumping that you can make money on in phases during these boring periods. But meme coins have stopped running now, and we are just kind of sitting. Nothing is really doing anything at this point in time. So when you're investing, you have to have a mindset of, I'm in this for the long run, right? And if you don't, and you have a weak mind or weak hands, or you're not able to mentally put up with sideways action for months and months and months and months and months at a time, then you're not going to make it in the space. So at this point in time, there's two things that you should be doing, right? If you're serious about your investments, if you're serious about making money in this cycle. And the first thing you should be doing, if you have extra disposable income on a monthly, weekly, whatever it is basis, you should be DCAing into your favorite projects, right? Caspa being the most important, you probably want at least 50% of your portfolio in Caspa. So if you have consistent money coming in, if you have spare money, then you should be DCAing, you should be putting a certain percent of that money into the market as we go along here. The boring times are usually the best times to DCA and to buy into the market. If you don't have any more money, or your income is low and you don't have a whole lot of money to put into the market, then what you can do, if you're somewhat comfortable with your portfolio at this point, just relax. Don't do anything. Let it ride out. Don't sell anything, but just let your portfolio sit. And when we get to that parabolic state of this market, which I believe is coming in mid to late 2025, then that portfolio that you have sitting there right now is going to grow drastically. Okay? If you're worried and you are feeling FOMO and you want to put more money in the market, but you don't have any money, then I would highly recommend this being a good time for you to sell some items around your house that you can potentially make some money on, put that money into the market. Stuff that you're not using, stuff that you're not, needing at this point, stuff that's just been sitting around, collecting dust. If you have nothing laying around your house, then try and find a side gig, Go out and mow lawns around the neighborhood. Go out and do something, right? Use a certain skill set of yours, or, go on Craigslist and find a part-time job, find a, at-home, data tracking job. Find something that, go out and, deliver Uber Eats or drive people around for Uber. Do something in your spare time to accumulate some more money that you can put back into the markets, okay? Being proactive and having a plan is how you're going to succeed in this market, okay? So tying all of that up, you have to have a plan. And I think majority of you guys do have a plan at this point in time as far as what you're doing, what your percentages of what you're accumulating should look like, and how much money you're putting into the market and when you're allocating that money to the market, right? If you don't have a plan, then I highly suggest that you come up with a plan. If you get paid every month, make sure your bills are paid, right? Don't overextend yourself, but put a certain percentage of that money into the market. If your CASPA holdings are not 50% or more of your portfolio, and that's where you want to be, then most of that should go into CASPA until you hit that mark, and then you can start filling in your smaller bags after that. But have a plan, whatever it might be. Right? It doesn't even matter what it is, but have a plan and stick to it, because that's what successful people do. When you don't have a plan and you're just willy-nilly doing all this stuff, you're not organized, you're not set up. Your portfolio percentages are going to be probably way off, and when it comes time to sell, you're not going to have a plan for that either, and you're going to miss the mark potentially, probably, and you're going to end up writing a lot of your profits back down into the bear market. Well, that leads me to my next point is have a plan for taking profits, okay? This is the most important part of anything, I believe. Like we talked about in my Take Profits video, it is the hardest thing to do in crypto, by far. Hands down, by far. Because when the market gets heated, you never think it's going to go down. You think it's going to go up and up and up. And you don't want to miss that next 2x, that next 4x. And you think it's just going to keep going and going and going. It's not. It will stop. It will stop on a dime, whether you're ready for it or not, and then we start going down. And if you're not ready and you don't have a plan set in place to take your profits, being a rough window, right, of when we're going to start taking profits, and maybe a rough price point in Bitcoin when we're going to start taking profits. Like I said, I think the time window is way more important. Do not get really caught up in prices and price points, because they can be drastically wrong. And last cycle, everybody was calling for $100,000 minimum Bitcoin. It never got to that point. So anybody that was waiting for that, thinking we're going to go and have an extended super cycle, got screwed, basically. So the time window is the most consistent, historically accurate thing we can look at to potentially tell us when we are getting close, right, to the peak of the bull run. There's other factors as well, and we'll be taking a look at all of those at a later time, but the time window is very important. So have a plan. Write it down if you have to, so you can reference it. A piece of paper next to your computer or next to wherever you sit down and make your trades or whatever. I know a lot of people probably do it on their cell phone nowadays, but have a spot where you can sit down and concentrate on this with a piece of paper and outline your plan, outline your strategy on that piece of paper so that you can reference it and you don't forget anything or any steps involved in that, okay? So have a plan right now for continuing to DCA and continuing to put some money into the market if you still can. If you can't, understandable, just sit on what you already have, okay? Or go out and find a way to make some extra money so that you can put some more money into the market. All of the money that you put into the market right now is going to grow exponentially, right, in the next 6 to 12 months. So any little amounts that you can throw in there is going to benefit you in the long run, providing it's not overextending your financial means, right? You want to be able to pay your bills, you want to be able to pay everything and still live comfortably. But make sure you have that plan, make sure you write it down, and make sure that you reference it and that you continue to follow that plan. And then when it comes time to take profits, you're already going to have a scenario laid out in front of you that you can just follow step by step so that you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off saying, oh, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? How do I get money over here? How do I get money over there? You're already going to have practiced your strategy of how you're going to want to take profits, and you're already going to have a rough window of when you're probably going to want to start taking profits. So hammer that into your head and this boring action right now is very normal. And I'm going to reiterate from the beginning of the video that when you're investing in general, no matter what market you're in, right? Crypto is probably the most exciting market out there, but it is still, majority of the time, pretty boring, okay? So in these windows where we go sideways for months upon months upon months upon months, just remember that this is how we build support in the market to take that next step up and to get that next leg up in price. This has to happen in order for us to build support at certain levels, and it seems like it's never going to end. But what's going to happen is, before we even blink an eye, one of these days, we're going to be from Caspa. Let's use that as a reference right now. You're going to see it sitting at, 14 to 19 cents for months and months and months and months. And you think it's never going to move, never going to come out of this trading range. But without any warning at all, we're going to see Caspa at 30 to 50 cents. And it's going to happen in the blink of an eye. And it's going to be extremely exciting, but it will happen. And I can promise you guys that it will happen. So all we have to do during these periods of time where it's extremely boring and the sentiment is negative, we just have to keep sticking to our plan, right? Whatever that plan is, stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. Fight through the boringness, fight through the negative sentiment. And at the end of all of this is going to be a lot of sunshine and a lot of extreme euphoria when the price does decide to move up again. So the last thing that I wanted to hit on is there's a lot of people out there right now with a recession fear. And yeah, there might be a recession, but just think back to last cycle, or any of you guys were here. If not, then I'll play it out for you. We had this exact same sideways movement, right? Up until about early 2020-ish, and it looked like we were bottoming out, and then we went into a recession because of COVID, okay? That can be a black swan, fully understand that, but nonetheless, it was a recession and a hard landing, so they call it. What happened was we then, from where we thought we were bottoming out, hit a new bottom, quite a bit lower. But that bottom only lasted for like 3 months. And then we V-shaped recovered right back up to above where we were before the crash happened. So I want to stress to everybody, even if we go into a recession, chances are it's probably not going to be for very long. Now, I'm not an economist by any means, and I'm not an expert in macroeconomics by any means, but just looking at past for your market cycles, even if we go into a recession, there's, in my opinion, a solid chance that all that does is give us an excellent buying opportunity. It's probably going to be a quick buying opportunity, but will give us an excellent buying opportunity to accumulate a little bit more at rock bottom prices before we shoot back up. So anybody who, is fearing a recession looming in the near future and is thinking about selling their assets because of it, I would highly stress to you, do not do that. At bare minimum, just hold what you have and ride through it. If you can buy more, okay? So that's basically all I wanted to talk about today. And it's just, I'm getting a feeling from a lot of people that, the bearish sentiment, the negative sentiment, and just the sideways action with literally barely any movement at all on the charts is boring a lot of people and is worrying a lot of people. And I just want to let everybody know that this is normal and to just stay course, okay? Whatever you've been doing, continue to do it. If you don't have a plan, create a plan for the time being and for profit taking. And when that time comes, you will be far and away more prepared and better off than the vast majority of other people out there in the market that, like I said earlier, are going to be running around like a chicken with their head cut off. And they're going to be basking in this euphoria and thinking that the market's never going to go down and it's going to go up forever. And those are the people, the ones that are not prepared, that have not been getting their mind right ahead of time, that they're going to need to take profits at a certain point in time. Those are the people that are going to miss the boat and ride the market all the way back down. And I'm telling you, I've done it before. It is not fun, because you see your portfolio at the top of the market, and then you see your portfolio at the bottom of the market, and you're like, damn, I was rich. Now I'm not. So being prepared and being ready and being disciplined is by far the best thing you can do right now. So that leads me into my next point. If you do not have a Tangem cold storage hardware wallet, make sure that you get one. It is the most important thing you can do in crypto, and you want to keep your crypto in your own custody, off of exchanges and off of hot wallets, where they can be hacked, where they can be stolen, where they can be frozen, where they can be confiscated, all of the above, right? Even if your portfolio is not very big right now, it's going to grow drastically in the next 6 to 12 months. I promise you that. And you do not want to keep tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars on an exchange, on a hot wallet, where it is vulnerable to all of those scenarios that I mentioned a few seconds ago. So get yourself a Tangem wallet, keep your funds in your own custody, and the link to Tangem's official website down in the description below. And if you would like a discount, use promo code CatDaddy at checkout, and you will get 10% off of your purchase. In the meantime, guys, continue to pack your damn bags before it's too late. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.